Hello and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another Pompey review. Now today the Brewers of Burton came to Fratton Park and defeated Pompey 2-1. Here's what I thought after the game. Now Pompey didn't necessarily perform the worst I've ever seen them play. They didn't perform awfully. In comparison to our last four games, yes, maybe it was a bit less. It was a bit off tempo, possibly due to fatigue. That could definitely be an attributing factor to it. But I think, all that today says is automatics are out the question. It doesn't say playoffs are out of reach, and it doesn't say the Cowleys aren't doing their job right. Those people that I know will come out now, I know there'll be people like this that will go, oh, the Cowleys, they're not doing the job right, oh, it's awful, they shouldn't keep them. Just shut up. Yes, I don't like ranting and all this, but please, don't criticise them. One loss in 5 games since they came in with 4 wins. 12 points out of 15, whereas before that we had 1 point out of 15, I think. Come on. Yes, it's not the best to lose to a team in 18th, but they've beaten Hull, they've beaten Peterborough, they gave Sunderland a good game. They're not a bad side, even though they are low. They went on that ridiculous winning run as well. All I'm going to say is, yes, Pompey may have dropped in the league. Yes, Pompey may not have won or got a point. But you have to take positives. Although there may not have been many, but you have to look on the bright side of things. I think now we can settle and go for the playoffs. We can try and just get into those with a good run of form. Pompey do now sit 12 points off of automatic promotion with a game in hand. It's very unlikely. I mean, it could still happen, but it's unlikely. We have 7 games left of the season now, and they're the biggest 7 games of the season. We get them done, and then we go into the playoffs with heavy hearts, with passion, with commitment, with just a bit, of confidence. That's what we've been missing in playoff seasons, because normally we drop off before them and then we can't get going again. Whereas if we play these playoffs after going in with 3 or 4 wins on the bounce and then we play them, who's to say we can't win them? Yes, the playoffs aren't certainly going to happen for us, but I'm just saying if we do get them. Now, other results in League One today we will talk about now as I just scroll down. Accrington lost 5-1 at home to relegation battlers Wimbledon. Oxford then travelled to Crewe and beat them 6-0. Wigan travelled to Doncaster and won 4-1. Fleetwood then returned to normality in terms of scores and beat Rochdale 1-0. The only home win for a side today, that was. Gillingham drew 0-0 with Shrewsbury, as did Ipswich and MK Dons, those two drawing 0 as well. Lincoln came from 2 goals down to draw 2-2 with Blackpool. Northampton drew 1-1 with Bristol Rovers in a relegation 6-pointer. Hull travelled down to Plymouth and beat them 3-0 to assert their claim as the title holders, the title winners. Pompey obviously did then lose at home to Burton, before Sunderland lost to Charlton, ending their 12-game unbeaten run, and Peterborough travelled to Swindon, winning 3-0. Now that does leave the table a bit differently to how we would have thought it would have been after today. Hull still lead the way on 79 points, followed by Peterborough on 76, with that game in hand though. Sunderland now in third, 5 points off automatics with a game in hand, so they're not, mathematically now they can't catch them with that game in hand. Blackpool into 4th now, and Blackpool are only 7 points off Sunderland with a game in hand. Pompey slipped to 5th. Teams do have games in hand, but whether they'll win them, you never know. Look at Doncaster. On 64 points, joint with Blackpool, just goal difference keeping us below them. Lincoln occupy the final playoff spot, Lincoln on 63 points, before Charlton, Ipswich, Oxford, Gillingham and Doncaster make up the rest of the playoff chasers. Well, you may be able to get Accrington in there, but personally I don't think they'll be able to do it. Scroll down now though, and the bottom of the table reads as Rochdale, Swindon, Bristol Rovers and Wigan occupying the bottom 4. Wigan getting a big win today, so did Wimbledon. Wimbledon lifted them out of the relegation zone as far as I'm aware. And those teams are on 33, 37, 38 and 38 points respectively. Then Wimbledon and Northampton occupy the 2 places above, 39 and 40 points for them with games in hand, except for Northampton though, they could be in some trouble. Burton then in 18th have 8 points ahead of Northampton, having played 2 games less, before Shrewsbury, having played 1 game less than Burton, a further 2 points ahead of them. Meaning that, anyone really above Shrewsbury are pretty much safe. But, you can't. I'm going to go back to the Pompey game now and talk a bit more in depth about it. And we're just going to quickly mention the fact their first goal wasn't great. Good save, and then it just bobbled around and he finished it off. Fair play to him, he took his chance. The second goal I'm still fuming about. I'm not going to blame the referee or anything, but it wasn't a free kick. Raggett's gone to kick the ball and been bulldozed by the striker, but the striker's won the free kick on Raggett. So Raggett's apparently fouled him. I don't know how on earth that makes any sense, but apparently it does, according to referees. And then fair play to him, fair play to the taker though, he did smash it in, and it was a great goal. And then Pompey clawing on back through Charlie Daniels in the 88th minute. But, 2-1 again. You know what, I think we should hear from Lewis and Dad now if we've got clips from them. And I will hand over to them to hear what they have to say after that defeat.
Right, review of today's game. I think, yes, we had over 70% possession of the football, but we didn't create nothing in the final third. We were devoid of ideas. We lacked imagination. I didn't think Burton were overly good either, but obviously they got the lucky goal at the end of the first half. They got a dubious free kick, and yes, it was a screamer they scored with. But they took the chances they had that were given to them. I thought the ref didn't have a very good game either. But we just looked very lacklustre, and we lacked a lot of creativity, especially in the final third. Our chances really were none, really, if I'm being honest. Proper chances. Yes, we did score at the end through Charlie Daniels, but that was too late. And obviously when me and Blake are trying to commentate on a game where there's really not... do a vlog on a game that there isn't really much to talk about, it's very hard. I think moving forward, Marquis has got to come back into the side as the striker. Curtis clearly isn't a striker. That's been proven in the last 2 games. He's better as a winger and cutting in and creating chances for other players. And yes, nabbing in with goals here and there. But we must improve moving forward. Yes, Crewe lost 6-0 today, and that's the team we're playing next. But if we play like we did today and create nothing, we're not going to win games, because if you don't create chances, pretty simple, you're not going to score goals and you're not going to win games. So hopefully something is said in the next couple of days. The training goes well. There is a plan in place, and we must bounce back from this, because we're only just in the playoffs again. I think you can, after today's result, you can forget about automatics and try and cement ourselves in the playoffs. So keep the faith, play at Pompey. It's only 1 loss. They have won 4 games, but moving forward, we must be better.
Now, thank you as always to them for sending their reviews in. It does mean a lot to me, so I can get other people's views. I don't want to just talk out of my mouth for the whole video and not have other people contribute their opinions, as I do like to see your opinions as well in the comments down below. Do, as always, let me know what you think. But we'll look at some fixtures on Tuesday now then. Wigan host Sunderland, Pompey travel to Crewe, the team that lost 6-0 today. Ipswich travel to Wimbledon, Blackpool host Accrington, Doncaster host to Pompey's defeaters, the team that beat Pompey today, Burton. Lincoln host MK Dons, Swindon travel to Rochdale, and Oxford host Shrewsbury. Some big games there, Lincoln in action, Doncaster in action, Blackpool in action, Ipswich, Pompey and Sunderland also in action, and Oxford as well, can't rule them out of a place. But I think pretty much that is where this video is going to end. That's the first time Burton have beat Pompey since 2014. But, it's not. I don't want to just dwell on it. And I think that's the main underlying feeling, is don't dwell on it, lads. I know they don't watch this, but don't dwell on this performance. You take it on the chin, you go, okay, we've lost, it's hard to take. But Tuesday, we bounce back, we get a win. That's what needs to happen. If we see that reaction on Tuesday, we'll be fine. If we don't, then there could be some problems. But it's how we bounce back. And ultimately, if we bounce back okay, I can't see any problem. But we will just break some news now, though, that Michael Jacobs will most likely miss the remainder of the season. I hope him well in his recovery. He's been troubled with injuries in his whole time at Pompey, and he's looked good when he has played. Unfortunately, that could see him out for the rest of the season with that knee injury, I think it is. So that's not great. And Lee Brown has done something to his hamstring, which could rule him out for a bit. Hopefully not. He had a good game today until he came off. But that is where this video does end. Can we get 10 likes on this one? Please don't forget to drop a subscription down below if you are new. And I'll see you in the next video, which could be a Football Manager video out tomorrow. Keep your eyes peeled.